Hello, brothers and sisters. The title of the message today is Being Led by the Hand of the Lord, message number 9. After 1 month, one elder of the church gave me an envelope. I asked, "What is this?" He said, "Pastor, it is money," the expression of appreciation. When Pastor left for Toronto, he gave it to me as an expression of appreciation. My standing point was I wanted to deliver a sermon even though I may pay money to them, not to me, because of Explo 74 preparation. But they paid me money? Wow. This also, God knew my situation so well and arranged everything. I had only 100,000 won with me, the key money for the rent room in Seoul. I borrowed money from my mother-in-law, 180,000 won, and I got a rent house with 2 rooms in Chungju area. It was 280,000 won. In those days, a salary in Campus Crusade was just 30,000 won a month. It was so difficult for me to pay back 180,000 won back to my mother-in-law. I opened up the envelope, there was 30,000 won. So for 6 months, 30 multiplied for 6, I was able to pay back to my mother-in-law after 6 months, which I borrowed from mother-in-law for my rent house. No more or no less for the amount of money. I was so surprised about the accuracy of the consideration of the Lord. In Israel, when they were in the wilderness, the food they collected, the manna, were not lacking anything, not exceeding anything for their need. Exodus chapter 16, verse 18. Lord, let me enter into the world where nothing is lacking and nothing exists anymore. In Chungju district, there was no step members. Professor Gu Hye-jung was namely the professor in charge. Students were gathered from Chungju Technical Junior College, 5-year system college, Chungju High School, Chungju Girls High School, Chungju Commercial Girls High School, and some other high school students. The first student whom I met was Brother Tak Ho Jang. He was the leader of Chungju Technical Junior College. The leader from Chungju High School was Jung In Nam. The leader from Industrial High School was Hee Soo Han. The leader from Commercial Girls High School was Eun Mi Kim. Chungju Girls High School leader was Yoon Sun Jung. They were leaders of Chungju branch, and they all moved to Daegu later on when I moved down to Daegu. Brother Tak Ho Jang gathered students so well, and he was a good leader. He worked so hard as if he was an assistant step member. After I left Chungju, he led students so well. In fact, he acted as a step member. I was just teaching a Bible, and Brother Tak Ho Jang took care of all other things willingly. Thus, I did not have any difficulties in Chungju branch. After I was assigned to Chungju branch, I went to Seoul as there was a staff conference in Campus Crusade headquarters. Each district leaders gathered together, and there was about 80 to 90 step members. I reported. There are about 12 students in Chungju district. But Reverend Jung Gong Kim said, "Don't you think something went wrong in Chungju district?" I was so embarrassed and flushed. I was the only one who heard the blaming from Reverend Kim. I could not lift up my head. I was looking for a red hole to hide in my mind. That was the state of my mind. I had never heard that kind of scolding before. In my life, I did not know what to do. I came out that place with a shameful feeling. Two of the staff members gave me a word of comfort. Mr. Anshin Kim said, "Don't be distressed. Our way of reporting have some problems." And Mr. Soo-gil Yoon said, "Don't be discouraged." I received a little bit of comfort. Later, I heard we should not report too frank and straightforward in Campus Crusade. Reverend Kim did not say anything. He did not rebuke anymore. He was that type of person. He insisted if anyone reports in a public place in a negative way, other people will follow his example. So do not report in a negative way. If anyone reports in a positive way, it'll give other people a positive influence. But negative report will induce others in a negative way. That's why staff members covered up negative things and just reported positive things. In fact, I thought if we report things as it is, frankly, we must accept constructive criticism. Only then things will go right. That's what I thought before. So the new atmosphere in CCC was somewhat strange to me. But as I think it over and work directly, Reverend Kim's thought was right. That's right, negative things trigger negative things, positive things trigger positive things. In hand cage, one chicken scratches, every chicken scratches. If one chicken crows and all other chicken crow, if the one right next to me yawns, I begin to yawn. It's a strange thing. It's a catchy thing. Positive things and negative things are half and half anyway. Who goes first? If positive people stand first, positive people will push aside negative people that become alive and spread in a positive way. Positive group will get the final victory. This lesson led me onward rest of my life to fold the negative situation up and clearly only march toward looking at the positive side only. After the conference, I came down to Chungju. I thought I had to destroy the wall of 12 students. I thought I have to decide whether I could remain in CCC or leave CCC with this issue. Thus, I decided to pray all night with students. Many students gathered together. After that prayer meeting, Chungju Campus Crusade got the vitality and number of the members were increased. One time, there were 200 students. Wow. Subtitle number 4, Vision of Explo 74. The God's calling that was given to Reverend Chun Gong Kim was the vision of Explo 74, which will become the flower of the movement of Campus Crusade of Korea, made God's calling toward me become so clear and overflowing. I received calling from God and studied theology, and I thought God's calling is just about my personal ministry. But after listening to Reverend Kim's words, I got the confidence that this movement can save Korean people and expand gospel in an excellent way. The history of Korean people are entangled with stubbornness, bad and dirty temper, conflict between left-wing and right-wing Eastern District people and Western District people, the school background, district background, family background, and so on. Reverend Kim insisted in order to solve these complicated problems, we have to be grafted together with the gospel of Jesus. Reverend Kim was asking, with what else can you find a temper of Korean people and renew Korean people from the root? Is there anything else that we can achieve the goal apart from the Christianization movement of Korea? I was completely fascinated by the vision of Reverend Chun Gong Kim. I was proud of myself to take part in such a clear and pure gospel movement. Reverend Kim's Christianization strategy was an amazing one. If he shared gospel with 4 spiritual law and trained 10 members, and they again share gospel and make 100 members. And if he trained disciples, they will multiply in a geometric progression, and 30 million Korean Christianization movement can be successfully achieved so soon. Explo 74 movement was training 300,000 key members for 1 week, and they would soon become 3 million people, and then they will become 30 million people soon. We experienced this in reality. One key member can get 10 people soon by listening to this principle. Who can think of anything else? In order to mobilize 300,000 leaders, first of all, we need 10,000 leaders, but getting 10,000 leaders was not so easy. For that 25 years of the history of Campus Crusade, they should have gotten that many leaders already. But as they couldn't do that, they had to hurriedly mobilize the leaders in a short period of time. During that time, the Lord helped me with His great grace. Reverend Han Ok Kim, who returned to Korea from Toronto, Canada, accepted the position of preparation committee chairman because of the relationship with me. Even though what he learned in the past and the Campus Crusade movement and philosophy and faith were totally different, but he himself became a great power to me. Even though the fact that he did not directly help me, but Chungju area is Methodist church area, and Chungju Jail Methodist Church is the mother church, Central Church, and head pastor became the chairman of preparation committee of Explo 74. So every Methodist church member thought as if Explo 74 is the Methodist movement. Even though I had no strength, in spite of the fact we in Chungju area could mobilize 3,000 people to Explo 74 in Seoul. What an amazing thing it is, so surprising. Lord knew in advance He used other people to send me to Chungju. I wanted to turn thanks to and bow down to the Lord who had an unexpected and wise arrangement. Jehovah God became my shepherd. I did not lack anything. For His name's sake, He led me to the righteous way. I have nothing to be proud of myself. I only become proud of my Lord. In the dark path, He kept me safe using His stick. Sometimes He a word prized before my enemies who mocked at me, and He made my cup overflow. Surely goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life. And I would dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Hallelujah. Psalm chapter 23. Explo 74 was a Christian evangelical movement, never existed in Christian history, surpassing everything in Korean history. In order to receive evangelical training, 300,000 people must be gathered together. At night, crusade, over 1.5 million people gathered together in Seoul, packing the whole Yeouido Plaza area. As it was the first event in history, they made many mistakes and difficult things. They could not cook rice for 300,000 people at one time and distribute. They gave raw and salted and sweetened turnip and salted shrimp from Incheon instead. They felt restless and began to protest. If some people began to complain, it would spread quickly like the epidemic disease and stir up a great crowd. That's why people of Israel who came out to the wilderness from Egypt began to complain against Moses and try to stone at him and complain against God. But Moses said, "You did not show enmity against me only, but you showed the enmity against Jehovah God." That's right. Whatever the motivation and situation may be, all the complaining and resentment came out from the temperament of rebellion against God. Why did Moses say that? Moses was looking at the rebellious temperaments and corrupted men in their behavior. Their temperaments were expressed outwardly because of their reality. Their temperaments were just like the volcano which is waiting to be erupted. We never know when and under what kind of condition they will be erupted. About the rational logic about their complaining and grumbling can be discussed among people, but God never listens or accepts. In human society, people need the good leaders and those dedicated people who have the spirit of faithful servant of God. The administrative people worked so hard without sleeping, and as a result, they could cook rice for 300,000 people at one time. Such kind of thing never happened before. Those people who were complaining and grumbling felt ashamed and tried to hide themselves in a dark corner. And those people who worked hard, they praised God's name in their great joy for the success of cooking rice for 300,000 people. Those who saw in tears were reaped with song of joy, but for those who complained and grumbled, only shamefulness and sadness will be remaining. As for me, the vision of Explo 74 was so clear. Even in those restless shouting and complaints, I don't remember anything about what they did. And I also ate raw, salted and sweetened turnip and salted shrimp and slept at the same place, at a rented school. I did not have any complaints, grumbling, or anything else. I only prayed to God. May the seed of Jesus would be sown in people. Green shoot of Jesus would spread all over. Explo 74 was finished successfully. Before the sunset, Reverend Chun Gong King came to visit staff members and said, "Shall we start another Explo 74 again?" He joked. He gave us short, comforting words and left. He said, "Shall we start another Explo 74? He meant he knew all the difficulties and hardship during the Explo 74 so well. Thank you. Hallelujah. May God bless every one of you. Thank you again. Thank you.